Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another live stream here on YouTube at Sports Bonanza John and on Kick at Sports Kick John. We are ready for a Southland Conference battle between the Vaqueros of UT Rio Grande Valley and the Cowboys of McNeese coming up momentarily. First of all, let's pray. Lord Jesus, thank you for this day. Thank you for doing your will upon us, and look over these players. Please keep everyone safe tonight, Lord, and please continue to do your will among us, Lord, as we ask and pray this in your name. Amen. All right, here we go. UT Rio Grande Valley and McNeese. McNeese coming in 16-3 in conference play, 23-5 overall. In second place in the Southland, 2 games behind conference leader Stephen F. Austin. UT Rio Grande Valley coming in third place at 12-7 in the conference standings. They come in 16-12 overall on the season. UT Rio Grande Valley is on a little bit of a roll here as they have won 10 of their last 11. McNeese, meanwhile, has won 9 of their last 10. So these are 2 teams that are absolutely red hot right now in the SLC, trying to close the season on a high note before conference tournament play gets underway here in just a couple of weeks. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's game. Let's start first with the Vaqueros of UT Rio Grande Valley. They go in forward with number 33, Filip Branovic. Branovic is a 6'8 junior out of Serbia. Branovic on the season is the second leading scorer on the team at 13.1 points per contest. 4 guard lineup for UT Rio Grande Valley, and 1 guard, number 13, Julian Gomez. Gomez, a 6'2 freshman out of La Mirada, California. Gomez on the season averaging 7.6 points a contest, to be exact. Another guard, number 10, Marvin McGee III. McGee, a 6'4 senior out of Atlanta. McGee on the season, 3rd leading scorer on this team at 10.7 points per game. Another guard for UT Rio Grande Valley, number 4, Corey Cotton. Cotton, a 6'6 junior out of Miami. Cotton on the season is the team's leading scorer at 13.5 points per contest. And the other guard for UT Rio Grande Valley, number 0, Jalen Washington. Washington, a 5'10 sophomore out of Dallas. Washington on the season averaging 9.8 points per game for this UT Rio Grande Valley squad, led by head coach Khalil Fennell. Starting lineup now for the Cowboys of McNeese. They line up this way. Starting at a forward for McNeese, number 7, Jarrell Colbert. Colbert, a 6'10 senior out of Houston. Colbert on the season is averaging just shy of 6 points a contest at 5.9. They also go with a 4-guard starting lineup. Number 8, Tyshawn Archie, one of the guards, a 6'1 junior out of Houston. Archie on the season, 2nd leading scorer on this McNeese team at 14 points a game. Another guard, at number 6, Larry Johnson. Johnson, a 6'4 freshman out of Savannah, Georgia. Johnson on the season, team's leading scorer at 16.8 points per game. Another guard for McNeese, number 3, Garway Duell. Duell, a 6'5 junior, also out of Houston. A lot of kids out of the Houston area here at McNeese. Duell averaging 8.3 points per game. And the other guard for McNeese is number 2, DJ Richards. 6'4 senior, also out of Houston. Richards averaging 8.6 points per contest. And McNeese is led by head coach Bill Armstrong. 16-12 UT Rio Grande Valley, 23-5 McNeese. Oh, appreciate the live chat already, Jasmine. Yeah, my pleasure. It's first time I've looked at McNeese and did Stephen F. Austin last week, and this is a very underrated Southland Conference this year. There are some good teams in this conference. This, of course, usually one of those one-bid leagues. But I think both Stephen F. Austin and McNeese are definitely NCAA-worthy teams. We'll see how it goes in the conference tournament here in just a couple of weeks. Officiating crew tonight as assigned by the Southland Conference, Roderick Dixon, Lucas Santos, and Bobby Besant III. Keep you updated on other action across the Southland Conference tonight. Couple top 25 games as well taking place tonight. We'll keep you updated on those as well. As the McNeese team is being introduced to their home fans right now. Again, the starting five. UT Rio Grande Valley goes with Branovic, Gomez, McGee, Cotton, and Washington. McNeese goes with Colbert, Archie, Johnson, Duell, and Richards, the starting five. As we are just about set to tip things off on a Monday night. New top 25 poll was released today as well. We will run that down at halftime. Teams getting their final instructions here before we tip things off. Third place team in the Southland Conference and the second place team in the Southland Conference. All chasing conference leading Stephen F. Austin. Stephen F. Austin just about to tip off at home against New Orleans tonight. So here we go, 20 minutes on the clock. Crowd still filing in. 6:30 local time start. So here we go. And we are underway. Tip controlled by McNeese. First possession of the ball game. McNeese working around the perimeter. Now the drive inside and an alley-oop to begin the game to Jarrell Colbert on the great feed from Garway Duell. And the first two of the game belong to McNeese, 2-0. Vaqueros bring it up across the midcourt stripe. Branovic with it, kicks it outside for a three that is good. Branovic with the long ball to give UT Rio Grande the 3-2 lead. Back comes McNeese up the floor. On the outside is Larry Johnson. Johnson with a bounce pass. Now back outside to Johnson. Johnson fakes the jump shot and will give it off to Colbert, who will back it back outside, give it back to Johnson. Johnson will launch a three-pointer. That's too strong. Rebound pulled down by the Vaqueros. Just over a minute in this first half. And a near turnover. And now Vaqueros working around the arc. 15 to shoot. Gomez kicks it outside, and now in the corner, Cotton fakes the three. Now we'll kick it back outside for a three-pointer. That is too hard. Rebound pulled down by McNeese. With it now is Colbert. Back out to Duel, and the Cowboys reset. Duel gets it back to Colbert, off his hands momentarily. Now at the top of the key is Richards. Richards to the left side, and a driving dunk. That's Larry Johnson that got loose under the basket for a dunk, and McNeese's 2 field goals, both dunks. 4-3, and then a bad pass and a turnover. McNeese gets the steal. Johnson 4-3. No. Rebound pulled down by the Vaqueros. Up the floor quickly is Washington, and the layup is blocked underneath by Colbert. Colbert with the rejection for McNeese, and now Johnson puts it on the ground. Ball still loose, and what do we have here? Not sure what was called there. It's McNeese ball. I'm not exactly sure what exactly the call was, but it is McNeese basketball. On the inbound, and the shot up, no, but a foul is called. And we will have our first 2 free throws of the night. Foul is on Jalen Washington of the Vaqueros. That'll be his first. And to the line will be Tyshawn Archie. First free throw up and good. Archie, a 91% free throw shooter. Second free throw up and also good. 6-3 lead for the Cowboys, 2.5 minutes in. A little bit of press here shown by McNeese. Washington brings it up the floor and across the timeline for the Vaqueros. I'll probably call them the Vaqueros most of the night. It's a lot easier to say than UT Rio Grande Valley. Now on the outside, and put on the floor, almost another turnover. And the Vaqueros launch a 3 and an air ball by McGee, and that will go out of bounds. Back it goes to the Cowboys. Johnson will inbound for McNeese. Got a stoppage of play here. Not sure exactly why, but looks like we're set to go now, whatever it was. So here we go. Cowboys bring it up across the midcourt stripe. Here's DJ Richards. Off it goes to Archie. Now on the outside is Duel. Duel spins, gets inside. Duel, nice pass in the paint. The shot is short off the right hand by Colbert and rebounded by the Vaqueros. 6-3 lead for McNeese, just about 3.5 minutes in. Here's a three-pointer that's blocked by Colbert. And then we have a foul on the Vaqueros, and now we've got a little fracas after the foul. Gomez's 3 was blocked, and then Gomez committed the foul, and then things got a little heated there for a second. Well, Gomez kind of took Colbert to the ground, to the floor there after the shot was blocked. So here we go. Cooler heads have prevailed. Here's DJ Richards. Richards will pull up for 3 and miss it short. Rebound pulled down by Gomez. And back come the Vaqueros. And we're going to have a reach-in foul, it appears, on McNeese for their first foul of the game. With 16-14 to play here in the first half. Washington brings it in to Branovic, gives it right back to Washington on the outside. Washington off now to Cotton. And now the pull-up jumper up and good. And that'll make it a 6-5 ball game. And the shot off the glass, up and good. Tyshawn Archie with the basket there for McNeese, and they're back up 3, 8-5. And we are going to have, I believe, a foul on McNeese, which will bring us to our first timeout at the 15:32 mark of the first half. 8-5 lead for McNeese early on in this one. So a slow offensive start here. UT Rio Grande 2 of 6 shooting. McNeese 3 of 7 shooting. Teams a combined 1 of 7 from beyond the arc. Again, we'll keep you updated on the other action across the SLC tonight as the night goes on. Actually, update some of these scores right now. Got a big game in the top 25 in college basketball tonight as well. In Lawrence, Kansas, we will talk about that game as well. Sorry for the stoppage here, folks. Updating the scoreboard here. A lot of early starts in the SLC tonight. So following the timeout here, it is UT Rio Grande Valley ball. On the outside. And now driving, looking to pop, and now the jumper is short. Offensive rebound putback is good. Off the offensive rebound, that is Corey Cotton with the basket, and it's 8-7 in favor of McNeese. Richards with it on the outside for the Cowboys. Wide open three-pointer is off the front of the rim, no good. And the rebound for the Vaqueros, and a chance for them to take the lead here. Cross-court pass here to Cotton. Cotton gets inside, kicks it outside for a wide open three that is too strong. Rebound pulled down by Johnson. Back comes McNeese the other way. Duel with it on the outside. Duel kicks it outside. Here's a three. That's too strong. Both teams cold from the outside here early. And back comes Washington the other way for the Vaqueros. Washington off for a wide open three that is good. Zay Blake, who just came in at the timeout, hits that three from the outside, and the Vaqueros take a 2-point lead at 10-8. Johnson with it. Johnson drives. And now Johnson will pull up for a long two that misses strong. McNeese now 3 of 10 from the floor. Washington slows it up, kicks it outside to Cotton. And Cotton with a bad pass, and there's a turnover. for the Vaqueros. Pull-up jumper just to the right of the foul line. That's no good. McNeese can't buy a shot right now. Ball knocked out of bounds by the Vaqueros. It will stay McNeese ball. Substitution into the game for McNeese. Carl Scherenfant in for the first time. He'll give Larry Johnson a breather. Here's the inbound. And now Richards with it. Now the drive inside. Tough shot inside is good. Tyshawn Archie with the shot in the paint ties the game at 10, and another near turnover by the Vaqueros, and now it is one. However, we're going to get a foul on McNeese prior to the turnover. It'll be the third team foul on the Cowboys. Under the basket inbound for the Vaqueros. And that was almost a 5 count there, but they do get it into Always Right. Yes, that is the player's name, Always Right. He just checked in for the Vaqueros. Now Agua on the outside. Dane Christensen, who just checked in, has the ball now. Shot is up. And they're going to have to get it. They don't get it off in time, though. That's a shot clock violation. And that will give the ball back to McNeese. So 3 turnovers here in the early going for the Vaqueros. And officials going over to the monitor. Is that what's going on here? Believe the officials are going over to the monitor. I'm sure this is just to check that last shot up against the shot clock. And they have confirmed the shot clock violation. So here come the Cowboys with it tied at 10, 12:40 to play in the opening half. Double team here, but out to a wide open three-pointer that's an air ball from Fredson Cole. And we have a push on the rebound against the Vaqueros. I believe they're going to get, looks like Dane Christensen for the foul. So that'll be his first and the team's third. Inbound here. And getting inside the paint, but a turnover for McNeese. That'll be their third turnover. And the Vaqueros will inbound here. I do want to point out something here at the timeout. Here's some press being shown by McNeese on the inbound. Vaqueros, they just get that ball up before the 10 count, and they're going to get a layup out of it. Quo Agua gets the layup underneath the basket for the Vaqueros, and it's 12-10. Vaqueros in front. Sharon Font underneath the basket has a tough angle. Will kick it back outside to Richards. Good ball movement here. Top of the key. Three-pointer is good. Tyshawn Archie with 9 early points for McNeese, and they're back in front here, 13-12. Tough pass there. Somehow saving that ball is Blake and gives it off to Always Right, who will now dribble on the outside. Right. Now at the top of the key. Pull-up jumper just to the left of the foul line. Up and good. That jumper goes down for Julian Gomez, and it's 14-13 Vaqueros. As back and forth we go here with 11 to go in the half. Layup at the other end, no good. Ball loose on the floor, and we have a foul. Well, it's getting a little physical in this game. 10:54 to play in the opening half. Vaqueros 14-13 lead over McNeese. McNeese starting off just 33% from the floor. 5 of 15, and they're just 1 of 7 from beyond the arc. This is a McNeese team that averages about 81 points a game. So far, held to just 13 here, a little over 9 minutes into the first half. Update on that top 25 game in Chapel Hill between Louisville and North Carolina. It's a tight one. North Carolina's up a point at the half, 39-38 over Louisville. Number 5, Houston. Number 14, Kansas, coming up from Allen Fieldhouse a little later on tonight. Oh, Michael, thanks for tuning in. Who's better? Well, McNeese is, well, they're both red hot right now. McNeese probably overall is the better team, but both teams are on quite the roll here. This is the second and third place teams, McNeese and UT Rio Grande Valley, respectively, in the Southland Conference. Off the inbound, a three-pointer is too strong. Didn't quite get the bounce there. McNeese now 1 of 8 from beyond the arc. And now back come the Vaqueros. Right with it. Gives it off to Agua. Agua to Blake. Blake turns it over. He stepped on the end line. Up across the midcourt stripe come the Cowboys. Oh, I wanted to mention something at the timeout break there. I didn't get around to it, so I'll mention it here. Next whistle, which is right now, as we have a foul. I think they're going to get Christensen. That'll be his second. I do want to mention this. If you are watching this game on ESPN Plus and listening to me, or if you're just listening to me and looking at the line score on your screen, the line score that I show on the screen is going to update before the action I have. That's this built-in delay that the ESPN app has. Unfortunately, there's nothing really I can do about it. So if you see a different score than what I say, that's why. That's a nice layup there, but missed underneath the basket. Boy, that was a point-blank layup there that was missed by Sharonfont. Vaquero ball up 1. Branovic for the Vaqueros. Shot clock down to 10. This is Branovic inside. Draws a double team, looking for some help. And now the cross-court pass. And now a three-pointer with 2 on the shot clock is off the back rim. Ball tipped out of bounds. It will stay Vaquero ball. They say it was tipped out of bounds by the Cowboys. Lucas, I will give your buddy a message here in just a little bit. How's that? I'll be glad to do that. And Tom Katz, if you're tuned in, will give you a hello. Three-pointer missed and rebounded by the Cowboys, and back the other way they come. We've been stuck here at 14-13 for a couple minutes. Behind the back pass, trying to get a little too cute there, but McNeese does get to the loose ball. And an open three at the top of the key. That's no good. Rebound to the Vaqueros. Shooting woes continuing early on in this game for the Cowboys. Here's the drive. Drawing a double team. Kicks out for a wide open three. That is no good. Rebound pulled down by McNeese. Teams have combined 3 of 18 from beyond the arc. Spinning inside, trying to go up with the shot, and getting fouled is Jacob Fredson Cole, and he will head to the line for 2 free throws. It'll be the 16th foul on the Vaqueros. I think Julian Gomez just got his second. So Fredson Cole will head to the free throw line for the Cowboys. First one is good. That ties it at 14. One more coming. And got it. 15-14. McNeese back in front by 1. First time we've seen anybody score in a couple minutes. A little bit of press shown here as the Vaqueros bring it up across the midcourt stripe. Right with it on the McNeese logo. Nearing the 8-minute mark here in the first half. Right on the drive. Kicks it out into the corner. Thought about the 3. Shot clock's at 4. The Vaqueros are going to have to put something up here. Branovic misses it inside. Rebound to the Cowboys. Good defensive stand that time for McNeese. And they drive it back down the court. And the dish inside the layup is good on the great feed. As that was Larry Johnson that got the layup on the great pass from Duel. 17-14 Cowboys. Vaqueros back the other way, and a foul is called as Corey Cotton was driving to the basket. 7:35 remaining in the opening half. 17-14. McNeese leading UT Rio Grande.
Rude. You're gonna let Eddie know. Yes, bro. Look, you got 110 viewers, and look how dead you're.
So the shooting numbers are not good. 6 of 16 for the Vaqueros, 6 of 19 for the Cowboys. 2 of 9 from beyond the arc for the Vaqueros, 1 of 9 for the Cowboys. Early rebound edge by 1, 12-11 for the Vaqueros. Vaqueros are being led by Zay Blake's 5 points. Leading the way for the Cowboys, Tyshawn Archie, 9 early points. Coming up at halftime, we will run down a college basketball scoreboard, also run down the new top 25 poll that was released earlier today. some notable changes there. I said yesterday on my live stream how I thought the top 5 would go. I missed number 5. Actually, I missed 4 and 5. We will run down that new poll coming up at the half, as well as run down some other sports news across the sports world. As we are down to less than 3 weeks until Selection Sunday. That is just hard to believe. So at the line for the first time will go the Vaqueros, as Corey Cotton will be at the free throw line following the timeout. First of 2 up and no good. One more coming for Cotton. Got that one. 17-15. McNeese lead is 2, 7.5 remaining, first half. Duel over to the left side, and now back outside it comes to Duel. Duel now looking to drive, now will drive. Jumper in the paint, up and good for Garway Duel, his first 2 points. 19-15 lead for McNeese. Again, McNeese showing a little bit of press here. And at the other end, we've got a block, but it's going to be a goaltend, I think. And Lucas, I just gave your buddy Tom Katz a follow there. So. Ooh, that looked like a pretty good block. They just showed the replay. See if the Vaqueros challenge it. They will not. So it's 21-15 McNeese. That looked like a pretty good block. But nonetheless, the goaltend was called, and the Vaqueros down by 6 with the ball. Washington looking to drive. Washington just to the right of the free throw line. That's too strong. Rebound pulled down by the Cowboys. And here comes a three-pointer. Up and good. DJ Richards with the 3, and all of a sudden, McNeese has taken a 9-point lead, 24-15. But an open 3 at the other end, that is no good. Vaqueros with the offensive rebound and a second chance this trip. Here's McGee on the outside. McGee sends it back to Washington. Now over to Branovic. Here's a three-pointer. That is good. That's a big 3. Corey Cotton with the three-point shot. That gives him 6. And that makes it 24-18. Duel trying to set the offense here for McNeese. Sends it outside, a three-pointer. Too strong. Rebound pulled down by the Vaqueros. And back up the floor they come, down 6. Cotton. Now Washington will back it out and set the offense. Jalen Washington now off to Corey Cotton. Cotton pass inside, a little too strong and taken away by McNeese. A little bit too much mustard on that pass. Duel, he'll turn it over. So back-to-back turnovers on consecutive possessions. Still a 6-point lead for McNeese as we're under 5 to go here in the first half. Washington off to Branovic. Now McGee. Nice pass inside. Branovic underneath for the layup. Brankovic, I beg your pardon, not Branovic. 24-20. And now we're going to have a timeout called, it appears, with 4:24 to play in the first half. This will serve as the under 4 timeout. 24-20. Vaqueros have scored 5 straight since trailing by 9, as they've cut it to 4 here with just under 4.5 to play in the first half. Offense is starting to pick up now a little bit. Vaqueros up to 40% from the floor. McNeese is at 39%. It's a McNeese team has their eyes set on a big prize of the NCAA tournament. They currently sit 2 games behind conference leading Stephen F. Austin. Stephen F. Austin in action at home tonight against New Orleans. And trailing New Orleans by 10, 29-19. Late stages first half there, so a little bit of an upset going on right there right now. So McNeese to inbound here following the timeout. But they turn it over, and a lay and a dunk at the other end for the Vaqueros. And that cuts it to a 2-point lead. This is a 7-0 run for the Vaqueros. 4 to go, first half. Johnson off balance. That's an air ball. Rebound pulled down by the Vaqueros. They can tie or take the lead this trip. Jalen Washington looking to drive. Now we'll kick it outside. Cotton will slow it up now. Shoots a 3. That's too hard. Rebound pulled down by the Cowboys. So the Cowboys dodge a bullet that trip. And now they're going to slow it down here offensively. Duel. A near turnover for McNeese, and now it is a turnover. Duel kind of got stuck up in the air there under the basket with nowhere to go with it. And McNeese with their 4th turnover. Vaqueros have turned it over 6 times here in the first half. As we are down to 3 minutes here in the first half. Washington on the outside with 7 to shoot. Jalen Washington driving. Washington, tough shot, and it rolls out. But he will have an opportunity to go to the free throw line as he was fouled. It's 2 free throws coming for Jalen Washington. The chance to tie this game. Washington missed the first and also misses the second. So 0 for 2 at the line is Washington. McNeese still leads by 2. Make it 4 on the layup right there for Larry Johnson. 26-22 McNeese. Cowboys' first points in about 3 minutes. Outside, wide open three-pointer is long. Rebound pulled down by the Cowboys. Njongo with the rebound. McNeese now looking to run the offense. As Archie slows it down, now we'll drive. Archie into the corner. Sharon Font, and Sharon Font stepped on the end line. It's a turnover for McNeese. So the Vaqueros will have it with 2:16 remaining here in the first half. McNeese still has a foul to give. They only have 5 team fouls. And there's a turnover against the Vaqueros. That's their 7th of the first half. As we're down under 2 minutes. Archie with the layup. I beg your pardon. That's Larry Johnson, excuse me. 6 and 8, a little bit difficult for me to distinguish from 28-22. Lead back to 6 for McNeese. Blake with it on the outside. Off it goes now to Washington. Washington now dribbling along the outside. Brankovic now. Brankovic. Pass into the corner for 3. That is long. Rebound pulled down by McNeese. And a breakaway layup is no good. A missed layup on the breakaway. And back come the Vaqueros. Pass to Brankovic is stolen, and now it is an easy dunk at the other end for McNeese. Jacob Fredson Cole with the dunk. It is an 8-point lead for McNeese. Timeout, Vaqueros. With 1:04 remaining here in the first half. Both teams have now used their use it or lose it first half timeout. So following the timeout for the Vaqueros, they will have the basketball here. Press again shown by McNeese. Vaqueros able to break it as we're under a minute. And now on the outside, shot clock down to 8. And a turnover. Layup, no, but a foul is called. So 2 free throws coming for McNeese as they try to build a double-digit lead here. First free throw up and good. One more free throw coming for Jacob Fredson Cole. Got them both. He's 4 for 4 at the line, and McNeese has a double-digit lead for the first time in this game with 37 seconds to play in the first half. McNeese will be able to get the final shot of the half as there is a difference of about 6 seconds. Shot clock, game clock. Down to 20 seconds. And there's a foul. McNeese did have a foul to give. Fredson Cole with the foul. But now that will give Rio Grande Valley the last shot of the first half. Inbound comes. Pass into the corner. Now at the top of the key. The drive inside off the glass. No. Shot was a little early. McNeese will now have 6 seconds. Up the floor they come. Corner three. No. Rebound. Follow up and good as the horn sounds to end the first half. And McNeese takes a 12-point lead into the locker room at 34-22. So a big end to the first half for McNeese. 34-22, our halftime score. McNeese up by a dozen at the half, looking for win number 24 on the season and win number 17 in conference play. So that's where we stand here at the half. A lead of a dozen. For McNeese. Well, since this is Monday, we had the new top 25 poll come out earlier today, and so let's run down that new top 25. And just as I expected, with their win over number 1 Michigan, Duke takes now the new number 1 spot in the poll. Moving up 2 spots this week. Number 2, as I expected to happen, what is Arizona. They're up to number 2 this week, who I virtue with their win at number 2 Houston, as they also defeated ranked BYU this past week. Michigan falls from number 1 to number 3. That's where I thought they would go with that loss to Duke in Washington, D.C. on Saturday. So they go to number 3. I thought Houston would only fall to number 4, but actually number 4 goes to Iowa State as they jump 2 spots back into the top 5. So the Cyclones come in at number 4 this week. And at number 5, rounding out the top 5, is where you'll find Houston. They drop from 2 to 5 this week, as they had 2 losses this past week at Iowa State and at home to Arizona. So a 2-loss week for Houston drops them to number 5. That's probably why they dropped 3 spots instead of just 2. 6 through 10 look like this. At number 6 this week are the Yukon Huskies. I thought they might drop a little farther with that home loss to Creighton. Not the greatest of Creighton teams that we've seen from over the years, but they do only drop the 1 spot. Other teams losing played into that. Them only dropping, but they do drop from 5 to 6 this week. At number 7 are the defending national champion Florida Gators. They take a 5-spot jump this week from number 12 to number 7. As Florida looking like really gelling here at the right time of the year as they go for back-to-back national championships. They're in at number 7 this week. In at number 8 are the Purdue Boilermakers. Purdue dropping a spot from 7 to 8 this week. Oh, yeah, I did forget to spam W. Okay, I'll get to that. Okay, I'll get to that here in a few minutes. Number 8, as I said, Purdue, they drop a spot. Gonzaga moves into the top 10. They jump 2 spots from 11 to 9 this week. So Gonzaga back into the top 10. Rounding out the top 10, the Fighting Illini of Illinois, as they held pat this week at number 10. '11 through 15 coming in number 11 this week, up 3 spots, the Cavaliers of Virginia, as they jump from 14 to 11 this week in the poll. Virginia starting to play some very good ball as well. They're going to be a tough team to match up with. Nebraska falls to number 12. Nebraska has kind of hit a free fall here at the end of the year after that 20-0 start they had. Nebraska starting off 20-0. They're now 23-4, just 3-4 in their last 7 games. As they're down to number 12 now. Michigan State at number 13 this week. They jumped 2 spots from 15 to 13. Taking a big drop this week down to number 14 is Kansas. They had that puzzling blowout home loss to Cincinnati this past Saturday. That is a very, very, very inconsistent Kansas Jayhawks team. You never know what team you're going to have take the floor game in and game out. Them and North Carolina, I think, are the 2 most inconsistent teams of the season. Rounding out the top 15, the Red Storm of St. John's. They take a 2-spot jump this week from 17 to 15. 16 through 20 in the poll, Texas Tech coming in at number 16 as they fall 3 spots from last week. They fall from 13 to 16. In at number 17, the Crimson Tide of Alabama. They take the biggest jump of the week, an 8-spot jump this week from 25 to 17 for the Crimson Tide of Alabama. And at number 18, dropping 2 spots this week, the Tar Heels of North Carolina. Another team that's been very inconsistent on the season. They're number 18 this week. Taking a 4-spot jump back into the top 20 at number 19, the Cougars of BYU. As they're at number 19 this week. And in at number 20, staying put at number 20 this week, the Arkansas Razorbacks. Rounding out the top 25, up a spot to number 21, the still lone remaining undefeated team in college basketball, the Red Hawks of Miami of Ohio, as they will try to keep their unbeaten season alive tomorrow. They're in at number 21 this week. Tennessee back into the poll this week at number 22. They had fell out of the poll last week, but they're back in it this week at number 22. St. Louis falls to number 23 after that loss at Rhode Island last week. And the final 2 teams, Louisville drops 3 spots to number 24, and rounding out the top 25, hanging in there in the top 25 are the Commodores of Vanderbilt. So that's your new top 25 poll for the week. As again, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. As far as the regular season goes, some conferences playing down to their final week of the regular season. Some conferences still with 2 weeks left. And here in this game in the Southland Conference, McNeese leads UT Rio Grande Valley at the half, 34-22. As let's run down some of the first half stats from this game. Vaqueros 9 of 25 from the floor at 36%, just 3 of 14 from beyond the arc at 21%, and just 1 of 4 at the free throw line for 25%. McNeese ends up 43% from the floor in the first half, 13 of 30, 2 of 12. Beyond the arc at 17%, they were a perfect 6 for 6 at the free throw line. Rebound edge, slight rebound edge for McNeese in that first half, 18-16. Turnovers, 9 for the Vaqueros in the first half, a little high. McNeese had 5 first half turnovers. Scoring in that first half, leading the way for the Vaqueros, was Corey Cotton with 6 points, 5 apiece from Philip Brankovic and Zay Blake. 4 points out of Quo Agua and 2 out of Julian Gomez. That's the 5 players that scored for the Vaqueros in the first half. McNeese led by Tyshawn Archie's 11-point first half. Larry Johnson with 8 points, 6 points off the bench from Jacob Fredson Cole. 4 points out of Garway Duel, 3 points out of DJ Richards Jr., and 2 points out of Jarrell Colbert. All the starters scored there in the first half for McNeese as the Cowboys up a dozen, 34-22 at halftime over UT Rio Grande Valley. Of course, everybody in the Southland Conference chasing Stephen F. Austin, who trails at the half at home to New Orleans, 31-23, that halftime score. So if that holds and McNeese holds on here, that will pull McNeese within a game of first place Stephen F. Austin. Still a second half to go in that one. And in the top 25, boy, North Carolina's pulled away from Louisville in the second half. North Carolina now leads that game 56-40. Over Louisville. So we are just a couple minutes away from starting the second half of this game. Vaqueros going to have to find some offense here as they were held to 22 points in that first half. Again, we were talking about scores. We have a big top 25 game, top 15 matchup coming up. Number 5, Houston. Number 14, Kansas from Allen Fieldhouse. And an update on my upcoming live stream schedule. This one is not set in stone. It's going to depend on my work schedule tomorrow, but I'm trying to stick with the Miami Redhawks as long as they stay undefeated. So if my work schedule cooperates, I will be back on tomorrow with a college basketball live stream for the undefeated Miami Redhawks against the Eagles of Eastern Michigan. That is a 6:30 Eastern time tip-off. That's why I'm a little shaky on if I'll be able to do that game or not. The Redhawks trying to go to 28-0 against the Eagles of Eastern Michigan. 6:30 Eastern time tip. Will try my best to be on the live stream for that game tomorrow. I know there's a lot of talk about Miami of Ohio being in the NCAA tournament. I don't care what schedule you have. I don't care if you're 27-0. I don't care what the schedule is. If you're 27-0, you are a darn good team. I've seen Miami about 4 or 5 times on my live streams this year. That is an NCAA tournament team. And they would be a very dangerous NCAA tournament team. So we'll see what happens. By the way, a bit of other sports news that I thought was very interesting. We've got this is from the world of boxing. Floyd Mayweather Jr., of course, he announced the other day he's coming out of retirement following that exhibition fight coming up against Mike Tyson. He actually is going to have a fight with Manny Pacquiao. That will be September 19th there at the Sphere in Las Vegas. So this will be the first quote-unquote actual fight for Floyd Mayweather coming out of retirement. It will be Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao. That fight scheduled September the 19th there at the Sphere in Las Vegas. That should be interesting, to say the least. So here we go, just about ready to start the second half here. Inbound to the Vaqueros here to open the second half. Down 12. Like both teams going with their original starting 5 here to start the second half. Brankovic on the outside. Brankovic trying to get free. Now gets inside, puts it up with the left-handed scores. Filip Brankovic now with 7. He's team high now for the Vaqueros. And it makes it 34-24. At the other end, shot no good, and a late foul call against the Vaqueros. That's going to be number 3 on Julian Gomez to open the second half. So Gomez in some early second half foul trouble here with 3 fouls. And to the line for McNeese will be Garway Duel. First up and no good. Gomez probably going to have to come out of the game here. Nope, leaving him in there. Second free throw, no good either. That's McNeese's first 2 misses from the free throw line tonight. So the score stays 34-24. Washington looking to drive. Washington off the glass, no, but we have a foul called. First foul the second half on McNeese. This one's going to go, I think, on Jarrell Colbert. First free throw up and good. Second free throw coming for Jalen Washington, also good. That's his first 2 points of the game. 34-26. Vaqueros have scored the first 4 points of the second half. We are a minute old. Duel. McNeese working it around the arc. And looking for some help here. Here's Duel. Duel from the foul line. Kicks it back outside for a 3-pointer. That's no good. And we have a foul on the rebound on the Vaqueros. Brankovic, I think, is going to get called for that one. Team second here in the second half. Under the basket inbound for McNeese. Pull-up jumper, no good. McNeese still scoreless here in the second half as that shot came up short from Tyshawn Archie. Brankovic over to Washington. Washington on the drive. Washington gets loose and scores. And it's a 6-0 run to open the second half for the Vaqueros, and they're within 6 at 34-28. And there's a near turnover, but Colbert able to get to the loose ball. And a three-pointer on the way. That's no good. Kept alive, though, for McNeese. And here's another three. That won't go either. A third crack at it, and the putback is good. Jarrell Colbert, after 3 chances, finally puts the ball in for the Cowboys. And they're on the board here in the second half, 36-28. McGee, and we're going to have a timeout called by the Vaqueros. McGee got himself into a little bit of trouble. They got the timeout called. 36-28 McNeese. 17:35 to go, half number 2. Both teams now in the 40s in shooting percentages. They were down in the 30s for a lot of that first half. Following this game, McNeese will have just 2 games remaining. This is their final home game of the regular season for McNeese. They wrap up with 2 on the road at New Orleans and at Nichols. Those games will be Saturday and next Monday. Meanwhile, for UT Rio Grande Valley, this is their final road game of the regular season. They wrap up with 2 at home on Saturday and Monday. East Texas A&M and Northwestern State to wrap up the regular season. Before Southland tournament play gets underway, about a week and a half or so. Getting into the best time of year if you're a college basketball fan. And I sure hope, we saw a lot of teams do it last year. I hope we don't have a slew of teams turn down postseason tournament bids this year like we had last year, which don't even get me started on what I think of those teams that turned those down. But there's still, even though it's not the NCAA tournament, there are a lot of teams across the country that still don't play postseason basketball. So if you get a postseason bid, you're still a pretty good team. So I wish a lot more of these teams would accept NIT bids if they are given the opportunity to play more basketball. So here we go out of the timeout, and a turnover. And Brankovic's going to get a layup for UT Rio Grande, and that cuts it to 6 again, 36-30. Wow. It's McNeese ball. Boy, good defense here for Rio Grande. The runner in the paint is short. Rebound to the Vaqueros as Archie came up short with that shot. Chance for the Vaqueros to get closer. Three-pointer up and good. And this is a 3-point game. 36-33. 11-2 spurt to open the second half for the Vaqueros. Archie. Now with another good defensive series. Archie on the outside. Archie will have to launch a three with 4 on the shot clock. That's way off. Offensive rebound, however, for the Cowboys. Fredson Cole with a nice feed to Colbert, who slams it down. 38-33. Cowboys up 5. But the Vaqueros quickly back and a foul underneath the basket. See if they're going to call that a shooting foul. It is a shooting foul. Foul is on Colbert. That's his second. And to the line goes Dane Christensen. First free throw up and no good. Vaqueros just 3 for 7 at the free throw line. Second one is good. 1 of 2 makes it a 4-point game. 38-34, 4 minutes into the second half. Duel brings it up the floor for the Cowboys. Duel spins. Duel gets it out in the corner. And we have a turnover against McNeese. Their 6th of the game, which brings us to the under 16. 38-34. Things have gotten interesting here in the second half. McNeese clinging to a 4-point lead. Stephen F. Austin was down 8 at the half to New Orleans. That's now just a 1-point game with 15 and a half to go in the second half. Low-scoring game between Nichols and Lamar. Lamar up 47-41 with 4 minutes to go. Incarnate Word and Northwestern State, a 3-point game. 13 and a half to go. Close games around the Southland Conference tonight. So following the timeout, it'll be Vaquero ball. Chance to bring this down to a 1-possession game. Christensen off to Washington, who will reset the offense. Washington now given instructions. Washington now looking to drive. Will kick it back outside, and we have a stoppage. foul called on McNeese. That'll be their third foul of the second half. And that's number 3 on Colbert. So Colbert with 3 fouls for McNeese. Julian Gomez, 3 fouls for the Vaqueros. Brankovic kicks it outside, and the spin move inside, and we're going to have a held ball. No basket on that, as McNeese tied up Christensen, and McNeese has the possession arrow. Christensen got tied up prior to that shot. So good defensive play there for the Cowboys. Still up 4 with the ball. You work it around. The foul line jumper is an air ball. Rebounded by the Vaqueros. Nice bounce pass. Almost a turnover. Vaqueros with a 3-pointer. Washington air ball. Rebound McNeese. The layup up and good on the nice jump stop inside, and the bucket for Larry Johnson. That puts him in double figures. McNeese lead back to 6, 40-34. On the outside is Washington, now driving. Kicks it out for a 3-pointer. That is a brick, but the follow up and good on the rebound for Brankovic. Brankovic, the first Vaquero in double figures with 11, 40-36, as we are at the 14-minute mark of the second half. Foul line jumper at the other end is too strong. Rebound pulled down by the Vaqueros. Washington driving. Washington kicks it out for a 3. That's off the rim. Rebound to McNeese. And Jonga with the rebound. And the layup is good. Larry Johnson with a dozen now. At the other end, an open 3 is good. Christensen with a 3-pointer. And it's 42-39. Timeout McNeese. Again, these two teams sit in second and third place in the Southland Conference. UT Rio Grande Valley in third place by a game over fourth place New Orleans. New Orleans continuing to lead Stephen F. Austin on the road, 45-41. McNeese in second place sits 2 games behind Stephen F. Austin. A Stephen F. Austin win tonight, if they can come back against New Orleans, that would clinch at least a share of the Southland Conference regular season title for the Lumberjacks. Here's Johnson. Larry Johnson, who's had the hot hand here. He will spin inside, and somehow it ends up in the hands of Njonga, who gets the layup. That ball was loose for a couple seconds, and Njonga picked it up and had an easy layup. 44-39 McNeese. Washington. Washington drives. Washington kicks it out now to Christensen. Back to Washington. Washington in the paint is tied up. This time the arrow will keep it with the Vaqueros with 6 on the shot clock. 6 on the shot clock for the Vaqueros as they inbound here. And the inbound, they catch a big break. The inbound was kicked. So that's going to reset the shot clock to 20. Big break there for the Vaqueros. Here's Washington. Washington gets cut off, will throw it up and score. Jalen Washington just threw that ball up there over a double team and got it to go. 44-41. It's a one-possession game as we near 12 minutes remaining. Outside here is Johnson. Johnson blocked, but they're going to get a foul. So 2 shots here for Larry Johnson with 12:03 to go. First free throw, rolled in. Looked like it was going to be short, but he got the friendly roll. One more coming. Got it. 46-41, McNeese by 5, 12 minutes remaining. Vaqueros bring it up with Always Right. Vaqueros slowing it down this offensive series. Cotton. Ball knocked out of bounds. It will stay Vaquero ball. And we've got the under 12 with 11:41 remaining. 46-41. McNeese up 5 on UT Rio Grande Valley. Minute to go. Texas A&M Corpus Christi looks like they're headed for a road win at Southeast Louisiana. They lead at 70-64. Nichols has come back on the road to take a 4-point lead over Lamar, 51-47. Just over a minute to go in that game. Other Southland Conference scores here. Northwestern State's come back to take the lead on Incarnate Word, 42-38. About midway through the second half in that game. And Stephen F. Austin, again, looking to wrap up at least a share of the regular season title in the Southland Conference, but New Orleans continuing to lead that game. It's 49-45. Now 51-45 with 10:47 remaining. Houston Christian having no problems tonight on the road at East Texas A&M, up 54-35. Midway point, second half in that one. (46-41) here. McNeese shooting at 41%. Rio Grande Valley 46%. But McNeese just 2 of 16 from beyond the arc tonight. That's 13%. 26%, 5 of 19 from beyond the arc for the Vaqueros. Slight rebound edge for McNeese in this game, 25-22. It's 11:41 to go. Vaqueros will inbound with 8 on the shot clock. They get it in. And the Vaqueros will turn it over. think Brankovic stepped on the end line. It's turnover number 11 tonight for Rio Grande Valley. With it here is Njonga. Here's Larry Johnson. Johnson's pull-up is good. Larry Johnson's got the hot hand here in the second half. That's now 16 points in the game for Johnson. 48-41, lead back to 7. Larry Johnson pretty much almost right at his season average of 16.8. Vaqueros driving inside, layup up and good for Dane Christensen. That gives him 6 points, 48-43. McNeese lead back to 5 again. On the outside is Archie. Looking to drive, cannot. Now we'll try again. And we'll put it up with the right hand too hard. But another offensive rebound. Put back, no. Out of bounds. It's going to go to the Vaqueros. Another chance to bring this down to a one-score game. Vaqueros were down 12 at the half. They got it to 3 at one point here in the second half. And that's as close as they've been able to get it. As we near the midway point here in the second half. Right with it. To Gomez. Brankovic. Nice pass inside and a foul. Christensen didn't get the shot to go, but he will have 2 free throws. That was a great pass. Foul's on Tyshawn Archie. That's his second. And Christensen at the line for 2 free throws. First is good. This to make it a one-score game again. No. Rebound McNeese. 48-44. Just past the midway point here in the second half. On the outside with it is Richards. Richards gives it off, and the Cowboys turn it over. Vaqueros get a steal. Here's Christensen 1-on-3. He'll wisely slow up. We're going to have a foul here. I think they got Tyshawn Archie, and they did. That's his third. So Archie joins Colbert with 3 fouls for McNeese. It's team foul number 5 here in the second half. Vaqueros have been whistled for 3 fouls. Here's Christensen. Brankovic. Dangerous pass is taken away by McNeese. I'm not even sure who that was intended for underneath the basket. And now we have a reach-in foul. Might not have been a bad foul there by Christensen, even though it's his third, because it looked like there was a fast break opportunity for McNeese. And we have an injured player, looks like a turned ankle, on a Rio Grande Valley player down at the other end. Didn't see who that was. Try and figure out who that is. Like it might have been a twisted ankle. Somebody on the Vaqueros. Here's the inbound into the backcourt. And the pull-up jumper from the foul line is no good. Rebound pulled down by Rio Grande Valley. And we have a foul on McNeese with 9:06 to play. That'll be team foul number 6. So for each foul here on out, as Tyshawn Archie just picked up his 4th foul, Vaqueros will be shooting free throws the rest of this game. So Archie has to go out with the 4 personals. He's picked up 3 here pretty quickly in a hurry. Down to 9 minutes. Vaqueros being a little bit more patient this offensive series. 3-pointer on the way. No. And we're going to have an over-the-back foul on Rio Grande Valley. That's going to be number 4 on Julian Gomez. So both teams now have one player with 4 fouls. Gomez picks up his 4th here for the Vaqueros. Archie has 4 for McNeese. Across the midcourt stripe comes McNeese. Duel off the glass and in. Darway Duel now with 6, 50-44. Cowboy lead is 6. There's a 3-pointer. Good! Marvin McGee Jr. with the 3, and again it's down to a 3-point game. This is as close as the Vaqueros have been able to get here in the second half. Bounce pass outside to Johnson. Johnson looking to drive. Johnson's fouled, and he will go to the line with 8:05 to go. So Johnson at the line for 2. First free throw up, and good. Second free throw, also good. (52-47). Pressure here and a turnover. Number 12 on the night for the Vaqueros. Johnson will slow it up and back it back out. Now Duel. Duel out at the Cowboys logo at midcourt. Duel now drives. Duel throws it up. Short tip. No, but we have a foul. And that will bring us to the under 8 with 7:35 to play. 52-47. McNeese hanging on here against UT Rio Grande Valley. Got some finals rolling in now from the Southland Conference. Texas A&M Corpus Christi has won at Southeast Louisiana 73-68. Nichols wins on the road by 1 at Lamar 53-52. New Orleans has pulled away over Stephen F. Austin. New Orleans leading 60-47 with 7.5 to go. So a Stephen F. Austin loss, and if McNeese can hang on here, that would pull McNeese within a game of the Lumberjacks for first place. Lumberjacks trying to clinch at least a share of the SLC regular season title tonight, but in trouble at home against New Orleans. (52-47) here. McNeese leading UT Rio Grande Valley with 7:35 to play. McNeese not only looking to pull within a game of first place Stephen F. Austin, looking for win number 24 on the season. UT Rio Grande Valley looking to come back to get a win here and stay in solo third place. Sharon Font will be at the line here for McNeese when we resume out of the under 8 timeout. Worth noting here, Ruchi Rio Grande Valley has only one timeout left. Had to use 2 timeouts here in the second half. So here we go. And I beg your pardon, it's Colbert at the line. First is good. 7 points on the night now for Jarrell Colbert. Second is also good. 54-47. 7.5 left. Rio Grande Valley just gets it across before the 10-second count. And now they can run the offense. Here's a three-pointer. That may have been blind. It's a foul. They're going to get a foul on a three-point shot. And Corey Cotton will shoot 3 free throws. So Cotton at the line for 3. First is no good. Rio Grande Valley has not helped themselves at the free throw line tonight. They're now 5 for 11 from the free throw line. Second one is good. Third is good. He got 2 of the 3. 54-49. Approaching the 7-minute mark. That pull-up jumper up and good for McNeese. That'll make it 56-49. Apologies, I didn't see who that was that hit the jump. Nice pass inside, finding Brankovic. That was a great pass to Brankovic under the basket. 56-51. McNeese's lead back to 5. Here's Duell. Duell, who thought about the 3. Now a pull-up 2-point jumper is too strong. Rebound pulled down by the Vaqueros. Chance to bring this to 1 possession again. Washington goes inside. Brankovic, another layup. And it's back to 3 again. 56-53. Timeout called by McNeese. So they will have 2 remaining with 6:18 to play. So McNeese following the timeout here. They're in a ball game here tonight. It'll be a quarter court inbound for McNeese in front of their bench. McNeese down to 10 on the shot clock. They're on the outside here. They need to start running something. With 4 to shoot, I just got to put this up here. It's long, out of bounds. Vaqueros could not come down with it. It will stay McNeese ball. McNeese catches a break. Under the basket inbound. Outside is Colbert. Colbert off to Sharanfant. Sharanfant puts it on the floor, and what do we have here? A foul on the Vaqueros. That'll be the 4th on Christensen. So Christensen and Gomez, 4 fouls apiece for Rio Grande Valley. This will be a 1-and-1. Free throw up and good. He'll get the bonus. 57-53, trying to make it 58-53. Missed it. Rebound. Out of bounds. Vaquero ball. Vaqueros a chance to get as close as they have been since very early in this game. On the drive, layup up and good. And this is a 2-point game, 57-55. Duel brings it across the timeline. Duel dribbling on the outside. Duel looking, finds Richards. Richards will now back it out with 6 to shoot. Duel now. Duel drives, figures out to Richards for 3, and it's good. DJ Richards with a huge 3-pointer, and it's 60-55 with 4.5 remaining. Ten to shoot here for Rio Grande Valley. Washington on the drive at the foul line will look for help. Get it over now to Cotton. And Cotton will be fouled with 4:12 to go. Both teams in the 1-and-1. Corey Cotton heads to the free throw line. Both teams have 8 team fouls. Front end of the 1-and-1 is good. Cotton will get the bonus. Got it. 60-57. Walking it up across the timeline. are the Cowboys. Under 4 to go. Three-pointer on the way is good. Tyshawn Archie now with 14, 63-57. Washington. Going inside to Brankovic. Drawing a double team. Down pass taken away by McNeese. It's a 3-on-2 and a turnover there. Well, it looked like he just flat lost the ball. Long jumper on the way. No. Tipped out. It will be Cowboy ball and a breakaway dunk at the other end. Garway Duel got loose for a breakaway dunk, and it's an 8-point lead as we near 3 minutes to play. At 3 at the other end for the answer, and it cuts it back to 5, 65-60. Duel brings it up across the midcourt stripe. 15 on the shot clock. Duel just dribbling near the Cowboys logo at midcourt. Duel now driving. Duel inside, gets cut off, 5 to shoot. Duel will kick it out for a 3. That's an air ball, but a foul on a 3-point shot. And this will be 3 free throws. And we hit a timeout with 2:31 to go. 65-60. McNeese up 5, and they've got 3 free throws coming up on the other side of the timeout. New Orleans still leading at Stephen F. Austin, 68-61, 3 minutes left. What a comeback by East Texas A&M against Houston Christian. They were down almost 20 points earlier in the second half. East Texas A&M has come back to make that a 2-point game with 1:52 to go. McNeese trying to hang on here and hope for a Stephen F. Austin loss, which would pull McNeese within a game of first place. But they've got some unfinished business to try and seal this win here. McNeese shooting 43% in this game. Vaqueros up to 51% shooting. Vaqueros 7 of 23 from beyond the three-point arc for 30%. McNeese just 4 of 18 tonight from three-point range at 22%. McNeese a 5 rebound edge, 31-26 over Rio Grande Valley. This will be 3 free throws here out of the timeout for DJ Richards. 6 points on the night for Richards. First of 3, up and good. Second of 3 is good. One more coming. This would make the lead 8 with 2:31 to go. He missed it. Rebound to the Vaqueros. So it's a 7-point lead, under 2.5 to go. Up across the timeline. Tough pass, turned over. Turnover number 15 for the Vaqueros, and a breakaway layup on a fast break is good. And that puts the lead back to 9 now, 69-60. Vaqueros running out of time. We're down to 2 minutes. In the corner, bounce pass and a foul with 1:55 to go will put Rio Grande Valley at the line. So a chance for the Vaqueros to get points with the clock stopped here as Jalen Washington heads to the line. First free throw good. Both teams at 9 team fouls, so both teams will be shooting 2 the rest of the way for each foul here on out. Second one is no good. Rebound to the Cowboys. 8-point lead, 1:50 to go. McNeese going to work on the clock here this possession with a comfortable 8-point lead. Oh, there's a turnover. Great job jumping in the passing lane, and the layup is good. 69-63. Zay Blake now with 9 as he gets that steal. As the 9th turnover for McNeese. The running layup is no good. That was a little quick. But we do have a foul with 1:13 to go. And that foul is on Dane Christensen, and that's going to foul him out. So Christensen fouls out with 7 points. So with 1:13 remaining, 2 free throws here. First is good. One more coming. Short on the second. That's going to go out of bounds over to the Vaqueros. Vaqueros need points pretty much every trip from here on out. They're down 7 with 72 seconds left. Quick breakaway is a turnover. That was a little careless on the passing that time. Turnover number 16 tonight for Rio Grande Valley. So McNeese will inbound. Inbound here to Duell. Duell passes it across the midcourt stripe with a minute to go. And now the foul at 57.4. 2 shots here. First free throw good. Garway Duel with 9, trying to get to 10 points and become the third Cowboy to reach double figures tonight. Missed the second. 71-63. Vaqueros need to go quickly. 50 seconds. Here's the drive by Washington. Layup good. 71-65. And a timeout with 48.8 remaining. $71-65. It'll be 2 shots on a Rio Grande Valley foul. In case we have a tie ball, McNeese has the possession arrow. Down 6. You're going to have to foul. You try to get a steal, but then you're going to have to foul pretty quick if you're the Vaqueros. Inbound it comes. And now the foul is given at 42.4, where they let 5 seconds tick off the clock there. Every second is precious at this point. Tyshawn Archie at the line. First is good. McNeese 18 of 24 at the free throw line tonight. Second free throw, no good. Rebound to the Vaqueros. Down 7. Washington. And, well, almost a turnover. Here comes a three-pointer. That's off the front of the rim. No good. Out of bounds. It will stay Vaqueros ball with 29.5 seconds. Folks, after the live stream, we'll run down the final stats. Probably going to sign off pretty quick at the end of the live stream tonight. There's a steal on the inbound for McNeese and a foul with 27.5, and that may seal the deal. .27.5 seconds timeout. Vaqueros, that's their last timeout. They are going down to the final seconds between New Orleans and Stephen F. Austin. New Orleans leads at 73-71 with 22 seconds remaining. New Orleans trying to hang on. Stephen F. Austin looking to come back and clinch a share of the regular season title in the SLC. So the Vaqueros out of timeouts. McNeese has 1. .27.5 seconds left. The Vaqueros will inbound. And it comes in. You have to shoot pretty quickly. Here's a three-pointer by Washington. Off the rim, no good. Offensive rebound, layup, no. Rebound to the Cowboys and a foul with 17 seconds. Colbert at the line for McNeese. First is good. So it appears the SLC race is about to get very, very interesting at the top. Second by Colbert is no good. 73-65, 13 seconds to play. Three-pointer on the way is no good. Rebound to the Cowboys and another foul at 6.4. And back to the line we go. Free throw is good. Second is also good. That makes the lead 10. Up the floor come the Vaqueros. Here's a quick three. It is good with 1.4 to go. 75-68. Looks like it's going to be the final score. And it is. Horn sounds. McNeese picks up win number 24 as they go now to 24-5, 17-3 in Southland Conference play, and they are now officially just one game behind Stephen F. Austin at the top of the standings, as Stephen F. Austin has just lost. It has just gone final. 77-73. New Orleans wins over Stephen F. Austin. So we have a one-game spread atop the SLC standings. Texas Rio Grande Valley falls to 16-13 overall, 12-8 in SLC play, as they are now tied for third with New Orleans winning. New Orleans ties UT Rio Grande Valley at 12-8 for third place. So McNeese about to honor their seniors as this is their final home game of the regular season. If they do not make the NCAA tournament, they may have a high enough NIT seed, because this is a solid NIT team, if nothing else, to where they may get to play at home in the NIT if that's where they're headed. But they have bigger aspirations than the NIT. Final numbers in this game real quick. McNeese, 25 of 58 shooting for 43%. We're just 4 of 18 from beyond the arc tonight at 22%. 21 of 29 at the free throw line for 72%. Vaqueros tonight were 25 of 50 from the floor for 50%. 8 of 27 from 3 at 30%. 10 of 17 at the free throw line for 59%. Rebound edge tonight for McNeese, 35-33 on the rebound. Turnovers were a bit of a problem tonight for the Vaqueros. They turned it over 17 times tonight. McNeese turned it over 10. Individual numbers, 3 in double figures tonight for the Cowboys, led by Larry Johnson's 20 points. Tyshawn Archie added 15. And 10 points out of Jarrell Colbert. 9 points out of Garway Duel and 8 points out of DJ Richards. 6 points for Jacob Fredson Cole, 5 out of Carl Scherenfont, 2 out of Giannis and Jonga, and a point out of Paitok Makar. So everybody that played tonight scored for McNeese. Over on the Texas Rio Grande Valley side, leading the way, they put 3 in double figures as well. Philippe Brankovic, 15 points. Jalen Washington had 12, and Corey Cotton added 10 points. 9 points apiece from Marvin McGee and Zay Blake. 7 points out of Dane Christensen. 4 points out of Quo Agua, and 2 out of Julian Gomez. Gomez was saddled with foul problems all night long. As McNeese wins this game, 75-68. Again, McNeese now 24-5 overall. 17-3 in the Southland Conference. They're just a game back of Stephen F. Austin at the top of the SLC standings. Texas Rio Grande Valley falls to 16-13 overall, 12-8 in the SLC. They now have company in third place as New Orleans ties them for third place in the standings. It's going to wrap it up tonight. Again, my name is John, Sports Bonanza John on YouTube. If you do like my content, really would appreciate a like and subscribe from you. Also on Kick tonight, Sports Kick John. Also do have some content on Twitch at Sport Guru John. I will try my best to be back on tomorrow night for the undefeated Miami of Ohio Redhawks, moved up to 21 in the poll this week. They will take on Eastern Michigan to try to make it 28-0. That's an early start time, though. That's why I'm a little iffy, but if I'm going to be able to get on with that. But 6:30 Eastern time, we'll try my best to have a live stream of that game for you. Again, 75-68. McNeese wins it tonight over UT Rio Grande Valley. Hopefully, we'll talk to you tomorrow night for that Miami of Ohio and Eastern Michigan game. Good night, everybody. Have a great rest of your